Hey, Nick from Playbook here. Welcome to day 64 of the Starting a Software Company in 100 Days project, where we're building out Playbook, which is a tool for managing all sorts of different processes and workflows and standard operating procedures. And so, as we prepare for another week, I'm going to update you on our the pace of the project. And so, we were able to finish out an initial version of this dashboard build. So I'm just going to strike that. Now we're starting on our team page this week. And so I'm going to change this to 5 days. I think we have a good amount of the building blocks for that laid out. And so then um, I need to go down and update this. I showed this about a week and a half ago. So today's date is September 2nd. September 2nd. I need to remove line. I got line 4 done there. So here's where we're at is a projected number of days. 21 business days left. That would equate to 4.2 weeks, and that would put us at that's essentially 1 month. So that would put us at 10/1 versus 10/17. So we do have a couple weeks of room there between these. Just thinking out loud, I took a day off of here. We're going to, as I mentioned previously, I'm going to have somebody else do the Zapier integration. I'm having somebody else work on the sales site. I'm going to throw a day onto our filters, and then 2 days. We'll just put this 10 days of cushion. It looks like I'll have to build out this. I'll have to put a little more thought in there. That's 2 full weeks on improvements that we're going to make. So I'm hoping by day 70, we have our initial team page. And what that is comprised of is it's both adding members and teams to your account. So teams are groups of members. And then I'll just go through this as drag and drop, adding drag and drop functionality to the process builder, the task builder. So the process builder is where you line up your tasks. The process builder is where you line up your different tasks. We're going to add some different actions in there or some different varieties of activities, but for now it's tasks. And the task builder itself is more of a where you're building out each task, the description, the form components, basically what every task entails. And so adding drag and drop, I think, will be a couple day project. Probably, might not, should be a pretty simple project, but we'll just leave that there. We're adding action text from Rails. If you remember in a previous video, I talked about open source. If we, let me just go. So day 51 is where we talked about open source. I will link that in today's video where you can see action text is a new feature from the Rails framework that allows you to build rich text fields. So you can tag people, you can just easily add image uploads to the text description itself. And so I'm planning a day on that. A couple days on UI design updates. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to add 5 days here, bring this down to 7 days, because we have a good week of UI improvements to make. A recurring UI, we need to add some. I'm going to make that 4 days as well. We need to take a project template, and make it recurring. So not only from the UI, but from the back end, we need to make sure we have the background jobs, the cron jobs all figured out to fire off these recurring processes. We're going to be adding filters, so building out, being able to filter through all your processes by team, by member, by due date, by template. So yeah, I think this is where we're at pretty realistically here. We aren't going to be able to add too much to this. If all of a sudden, let's say we have 2 days here and 2 days here and 2 days here, that would free up 7 additional days. And so if we added that here, we'd have 14 days. We'd have almost 3 weeks of cushion. If we could get 3 weeks of cushion, I might try to bite off this additional conditional logic feature that I've talked a lot about in the past. So just using this to just plan out, try to keep from having feature creep kick in. I'm using the Basecamp project to enter a lot of the different individual pieces of all of these, describing the specs and just building out to-do lists for these. But today or this coming week, which is only a 4-day work week, I really hope we can finish up this team page. So I'd be able to shave a day off there. And then building out some of the more rich features, making some improvements to how we both build process templates and build the tasks that go into those process templates. So yeah, we're making good progress. Unfortunately, I had to trim this conditional logic. I'd love to be able to at least get a little bit of work done on the backbones of that before we wrap up our 100 days. But looks like we got 28 days of development. That would give us about a week cushion. And so with that, I think I'm happy with where things are at. We need to make sure we just keep making progress. Don't try to spend too much time on things that aren't going to move the needle. And I think everything we have here is all going to move the needle. We don't want to get buried in a month here of just going hiring having a designer go back and forth because there's going to be some delays in that process. So need to keep this is probably the one where we need to just keep our eye on the clock to not spend too much time. So with that, that's day 64 of the Starting a Software Company project. We're just kind of blocking and tackling here. Excited to keep making progress. I hope also by probably day 75, we'll be able to show you some more details on the marketing site. So I'm just going to say goal day 75 to show you more of the marketing site. And then, this will probably get pushed out to day, work on that between day 80 and day 85, I would say. A little later than what I had initially planned, but that's okay. Not an absolute necessity to have that from day one. An absolute necessity to have it sometime soon, but not necessarily day one. All right, with that, I'm rambling. Have a wonderful day. Day 64 is in the books. We will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for following along.